What's the worst thing to say to your wife immediately following childbirth? Fuck me, that's an ugly baby you just shot out of your shitty, hammy pussy. You know, I fancy a divorce. Yep. Divorce is what needs to happen in order for me to be satisfied as a man. Can somebody please mop up this woman's messy cunt? She's literally repulsing me more than she usually does, and that's saying something, because I've hated her for years. No longer has that youthful glow, and the middle-aged turkey neck has really begun to set in, and I'm fucking sick of her ugly bullshit. After my wife gave birth to our third, I went home at night because I wasn't allowed to stay in the hospital. I went back first thing the next day but stopped by a department store to get her a pushing present. Something nice to commemorate the occasion. I couldn't find anything but picked up a new 400 pounds jacket for myself. I walked in and said, "Do you like my new jacket?" She still mentions it 7 years later. I have twins who were born vaginally. Baby A was head down but baby B was breech. After baby A was born they reached up, broke baby B's water, and pulled her out by her feet. My now ex-husband told me it reminded him of seeing calves born on his grandfather's dairy farm when he was growing up. Strike this from the list of acceptable things to say: woman face-bombing, woman face-bombing, woman face-bombing. Not necessarily childbirth, but I was experiencing my third miscarriage with our third child and I was sitting on the toilet, as blood gushed out of me. My SO was fully aware of what was happening. Instead of providing me with some sort of support or asking if I was okay, he asked me when I was going to be done because he had to poop. Because I can just rush the process, right? You need a tow? I can get you a tow. Since I recorded this, let's watch it in reverse at 1:2 speed. WTF? How come it looks like a blonde? So the umbilical cord is basically your original mouth. Ma'am, your husband wanted me to tell you that he's down the hall because the restraining order says 100 meters, not feet. Everything good? Okay, I'll see you later, I'm going to go drink some beer. Proceeds to get drunk, tries to come back, hospital refused to let him in. Didn't see him till afternoon the next day. I and our daughter both literally almost died, seriously, and he leaves to go get drunk. No, he's not a habitual drinker BTW. Technically I didn't say anything, but when my son was born he came out with an alien head. I must have had a shocked, worried look at my face because the nurse immediately put a little hat on him and said, "Don't worry. They all look like that." Sure enough, he is a completely normal shaped head. When I was born, my father was a farmer. Few days after the labor he said to my mom that the moment brought his memories back to when he helped a cow to give birth. In my country, for a woman, be compared to a cow, it's not the best compliment to receive. Alright, real story. Wife had a C-section. Doctors straight up told her, nothing strenuous blah blah. And specifically, no laughing. Like a month I was the funniest man in existence. I wasn't even trying, most of the time. I will answer your question in the form of music. Gonna be loose, so loose, a song about leaving and being free of responsibilities. Genuinely happened to me seconds after a stressful labor. I was exhausted and drugged to the heavens on pain meds. He turns to me and says, "Right, I'm off for a nap, I just couldn't." He then disappears on a 3-day drug bender. Lol. Well, that didn't seem that hard, which is tied with, "I'm glad you got a C-section so you're not all loose now," which is something a friend of mine was actually told by her boyfriend the day after she gave birth. Girls reached out that he was soliciting women for sex who attended our wedding while I lay dying in the ICU for 2 weeks. He said it was my fault because he couldn't have sex, so what was he supposed to do? My mom had a home delivery, very normal in my country BTW. My dad came home from work and said, "Could you clean the sheets? I'm tired and want to nap." Don't know how it took 32 more years to divorce him. Asking the doctor when his wife will be able to have sex with him again and inquiring about a husband's stitch. Especially evil if all is asked without acknowledging her. I asked the doctor, after my wife had just given birth, how soon we could have sex. He told me, to give him about 10 minutes and he could meet me in the parking lot. It hurts more to get kicked in the balls. In general, I believe that childbirth and a blow to the testicles are very painful, but not comparable concepts. It is okay, we can make another one. This implies that for one, the current child is dead broken and that you don't particularly care about that fact. Hey, sorry but the boys need me, Teresa Ray going on, and I cannot miss this one, just come home with it when you are done and he'll look at it then. Shakes the numbness from their crushed hand. Interrupts the doctors and nurses chinding her. Can you look at this? I think she broke it. Do you want to be a Reddit moderator? I mean, You're laying around useless just like one may as well police people's words while you're doing it. When our second daughter was born and the nurse asked if we had a name, my now ex-husband said rather gruffly, "Oh fair. Like 0 for 2. I actually did this. I asked her to get out of the bed so I could sleep. I'd been awake for 60 hours. Brain was fried by that point. That wasn't so bad, was it? Get up. I need to lay on a better bed. For a home birth, babe, when's dinner? I'm starving." I told my husband I'd go for his throat if he dared make the "ready for another one?" joke. The nurse said she'd back me up. True story. In 1989, my former husband really did ask my OB for a courtesy stitch when they were stitching my episiotomy. What a beautiful baby, looks just like insert neighbor's name. Has his nose, mouth and those eyes are the spit. "Did you have to make such a fuss?" said to my mother-in-law by my father-in-law when my wife was born. My husband said, "I'm really sorry to tell you this, but this tops a wedding." Moments after I gave birth, smiley face. "He looks just like you, that's disappointing. Are you sure you kept him in there for long enough?" My first husband told a new mom the baby was really ugly. 47 years later she is still holding a grudge. I saw how big the baby's head was. Don't tell me you didn't like it. How can I compete with that? Don't believe what the nurse said, shitting yourself during childbirth is not normal. You're gross. Just because you named him Daryl don't mean he belonged to Daryl. That baby is rice-skinned Ed. I've been sleeping bad tonight with all the ruckus. You take care of the kid till I've slept enough. Quit being dramatic, it didn't even look that bad. I wish I got to just sit around for 9 months, rolling eyes face. You need to lose weight. Stop being dramatic. Let my long-lost relatives come and see the baby. I wasn't aware this is a thing, but apparently asking if she's willing to have an extra stitch. My mom's friend said it to me, but would be bad to say to wife, "Why do you still look pregnant?" It's going to be like chucking a chipolata up a motorway tunnel when I try and shag you again. My father said during it they have an organ on your stomach. The marriage didn't last. My husband told me that I looked like Fiona from Shrek. I did, but that's not the point. I'm so horny. I realize the front is out of commission. How's the back door doing? Wink. My husband said, "Oh my god, it looks like a monster took a bite out of you. Flush face, woozy face." By the way, do you remember Cheryl? We met her last year during our wedding. Dang, guess I'm gonna be throwing my hot dog down the hallway for a while, huh? Hey honey, ask the doctor put a couple extra stitches and tighten that thing up. I gave my permission to stitch you up a bit so that you'd be tighter down there. I don't know, but I'm sure some dumb schmuck will say it in our relationship advice. Oh come on, man up, they gave you drugs to help. All this drama is unnecessary. It was the last game of the World Series. Cool. I'm gonna go check the score. It looks like the baby is still in there. I actually said this to my wife. Well, shit. That's ruined now. I hope you like me knocking on the back door. My son's dad asked me to move a heavy swing set 3 hours after giving birth. Hey! Stop playing around. Those dishes ain't going to wash themselves. Funny story. The nurse that just delivered your baby happens to be my ex. Well, that wasn't so bad. Why don't we try to have a whole baseball team? Babe. That pussy is all kinds of wrecked. Blown out to shit. I'm out. Grimacing face. I'm pretty hungry after being here all day. When are you making supper? Hey doc, can you throw an extra stitch or 2 in there for me? Wink wink. Is now a bad time to mention you broke my hand during the contractions? Anyway, I'm going to a 4 days camping trip with friends. Have fun. That's not mine. Why do you say that? Because I'm not black. What's with all the poop, man? You are pushing with the wrong hole. Both those places are a ripoff. Can't believe you slipped El Rosas. I'm still thinking if we should have the baby or not. Hold on please. Twist, the doctor said that. You know, she's probably just that fat. Okay, it's done. Now you can work on getting that body back in shape. Finally you get a glimpse of what having a real men's cold feels like. You pooped it yourself, and they're all in the hall laughing about it. That's it? That looked easy. I don't understand what the big fuss is. In my opinion, I think you were just overreacting for the attention. Wanna put him back in and make another one so he could have a twin? Say that you know that she cheated on you and the child is not mine. Did you remember to ask them about the husband stitch like I asked? Haha. You shit yourself during that. Wait till the guys hear this. Are you gonna stay like this, or is there someone else inside you? Our baby will be like Heinz Doofenshmirtz if you know you know. Point to her vagina. Probably need to get that sorted out now. That was yucky. I want a divorce. Ew, no please don't touch me. The funny thing is that I secretly got a vasectomy a year ago. Is that it? With all that moaning I was expecting a litter. Hey doc, can you put in an extra stitch? After an episiotomy, you get the plate number of the truck that hit you down there. I've been cheating with your best friend and I want a divorce. Can I go have a rest? You've been lying down this entire time. I am sorry honey, but it's not yours. Enjoy the confusion. See? All that whinging for nothing. Wasn't that bad, was it? This is an awkward time that I never got your name. It was much more enjoyable when I gave birth inside you. Well, that thing's never gonna be the same after that. I gave the doctor $20 to throw in a couple extra stitches. Fuck, I've got some bad cramps. Must have been those tacos. Well, it was like watching my favorite pub burn down. Well, that certainly ruined my playroom now, didn't it? Well, that looked easy, let me get back to my game now. Well, that was gross. I can never see it the same again. That looked pretty easy. I'm going to go grab a beer. That is a Caucasian baby from the mountains of Caucasus. See? Wasn't that bad? You're such a drama queen. I'm in love with another woman, and I'm leaving you. Now you know how it feels to be kicked in the balls, for a premature baby. It's raw. Gordon Ramsay, scoot over. I'm tired and need to lie down a minute. Since it died, I can return the toys for a refund. It's really big. Doc, can you add an extra stitch? Who you? The dishes were really starting to pile up. Oh no, it's X. You both are such a disappointment. Now you know how it feels when I have a tummy ache. Are you sure it's not another one in there, fatty? That doesn't look ready, can we put it back in? You just shot life out of your hoo-ha bro sick. Took you long enough. My feet were getting tired.